Hello and welcome to another edition of On the Prowl, the voice of the Cougars, Everett German. Today we're going to the baseball diamond, as I'm joined by the head baseball coach, Chad Holbrook. Coach, thank you for taking some time and joining us today.
And thanks for having me. It's always good to talk to you, and nice studio here, and a lot of good things going on at the college in regards to sports information and getting the word out. So this is cool.
You know, Chad, I actually thought it'd be pretty cool to tape this in the dugout, but I don't think Amy and David, our crew behind, that's a lot of moving around. So we'll just stay here in the studio.
And we got some no-see-ums and some wasps down there too. So yeah. I think it's a lot safer right
We don't need that at all. But obviously, Chad doing a great job leading our baseball program. And, you know, I don't even want to really just talk baseball because you just such an interesting leader of our baseball program. On the field, off the field. So I figured today I want to talk off the field, Chad Holbrook, because I don't know there's many college baseball coaches that have the type of, let's say, the pizzazz that you have, from whether it's music or collecting baseball cards or, you know, we'll talk about coaching your son. You know, a lot to Chad Holbrook. So I guess let's just start, Chad, with just you and baseball and college baseball. You know, it's a shame that those 2 weeks in Omaha, that's when you seem to see the most attention on college baseball. But man, Coach, the interest in baseball all around the country really is starting to pick up here as of late.
Well, the state of South Carolina has always been a big college baseball state. When I was at South Carolina, you could get a feel for the interest and the excitement, you know, and South Carolina's good in baseball. Clemson's good in baseball. Coastal Carolina's had a great run. We've had a few runs here and there, stumping our toe a little bit this year, but we'll figure it out. But it's a great state for college baseball, and there's a lot of interest and a lot of popularity, and the players are good. The high school coaches are good. The high school baseball programs are good. So it's a great place. If you want to be in amateur baseball, the state of South Carolina is a great place to be involved in it.
You know, Coach, for so long, I believe it was 11.7 scholarships allowed for baseball. Now so much change within the NCAA in which you can offer. Kind of get us up to speed on what recruiting looks like now for Chad Holbrook and his staff.
Well, we're still trying to figure it out, and I don't think we have it, mapped out, so to speak. You know, we're learning each and every day. It's all because of the finances involved, the money that Power Fours put toward their athletic departments. We're still trying to navigate that as a mid-major of how much we put toward recruiting, facilities, all the above, the budget. There's so many different factors and wings of our budget to make sure that where do we compete to be successful in all those arms, so to speak. So we're navigating it. The big boys, they got a little bit more from a resource standpoint than we have. So we have to learn to make our dollars go further. Right. And we're in the process of doing that. And from a recruiting standpoint, from a facility standpoint, and all the things that we give our players to make sure they have a great experience here. But it's not easy. And like I said, it's not ironclad. And I don't know if we have it figured out yet, but we're trying our best each and every day.
I'll tell you one thing, if a high school baseball player or a transfer wants to play in a beautiful ballpark, because we're pretty lucky over there at Patriots Point.
You know, it's a great setting. And, we're still trying to afford some more things for our players, like inside the stadium. But on game day, with the views, the field, the scoreboard, the music that we play, and it's not been the case this year every day, but usually the product we put on the field is pretty dang good too. And but yeah, it is a beautiful spot, and College of Charleston is a really cool place to play baseball for sure.
Coach, you played at North Carolina. Coach, as you mentioned, South Carolina, the College of Charleston. When did you know you kind of wanted to be a baseball coach?
I knew I wanted to coach. I didn't know I wanted to be a baseball coach just because I grew up. My dad was a basketball coach, so. I was growing up when he was the head basketball coach at Furman and at Gardner-Webb, and all I knew was basketball at that time. In high school, I played all the sports. Then I stopped growing, so basketball got knocked off the list. And they don't ask me to get rebounds or jump center in baseball. So you could be vertically challenged and still have success. And luckily, I was lucky enough to have a little athletic ability and get a chance to play some college baseball. And then once I got involved in college baseball, I knew that I wanted to coach. I wanted to coach like my dad. It didn't matter what sport.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you hold at one time the record for steals in Chapel Hill?
About 40 pounds ago, probably. yeah. And I used to could run a little bit, but Yeah, that's about all I could do. I hit it on the ground and run, because I wasn't a great hitter, so I had to learn how to use my skill set to give myself the best chance of success. And if I'd have got up there and tried to hit home runs, I wouldn't have ever played. But I could run, and so I learned how to bunt and hit it on the ground. And it's what we try to tell our players. Not everybody can hit it over the street. Everybody can hit it over the fence. If you can't, but you can still help us win. What can you do to help us win if you can't hit it out of the ballpark? And it's our players are still trying to learn that from time to time, and that's the part of growing up as a player as well.
Coach, when you think back to your youth, any little boy, you remember playing catch, with your dad, throwing it in the backyard, learning the right way, going to a baseball game, and you have the unique experience this year of coaching Reese, your son. Talk a little bit about what that's like, being able to you have two sons, Reese, obviously a member of the team this year. Talk about what that relationship is like and being able to see him on the field each and every day.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It's been great in regards to being in the same place. I lost so much time when he was playing at North Carolina, or when he was playing in high school and I was coaching down here. He stayed in Columbia, and so I missed his state championship baseball games. I missed his games at North Carolina. I missed his graduation at North Carolina because I was here in Charleston coaching our team. So we're playing catch up a little bit for some times missed as a father and a son. But that being said, it's no different on game day with this, except of I've double stress. I want him to do well.
Right.
I'm a human being. I'm a dad.
Right.
And you want your kid to do well. So you got the double stress of your team wanting to play good and wanting to win, and
right.
How's your team setting up, and then here comes Reese. Well, I hope you get a hit too, pal.
Right.
So it's we've all seen parents act certain ways in stands,
right.
and it's like, well, it's stressful.
Right.
It is stressful. Some of those parents might act a little crazy because the stress that they want their kid to play well under. I have to do my best to get a good poker face and keep my emotions in check, because we all want our kids to do well.
When you guys were talking about it, hey Dad, I think I want to come play for you, at any point did you say, no, maybe that's not a good idea, just because of that stress of him being the coach's son and having the last name of Holbrook?
I think that was what we had as a senior in high school, or when it was time to choose his college.
Okay.
I think he had those, and I did too. Maybe it's time for someone else to coach you. Go off, play. Don't have to worry about your dad. Just play and have a good time. Well, he got that experience, and he had a good experience at North Carolina. He didn't play as much as he wanted to play, but hey, that's baseball at that level. You gotta sometimes you can only play 9, and there's a lot of good players up there. That being said, after he got to go that route, I think then it hit him after graduation. He's like, I got 1 year eligibility left. It'd be cool to play in Charleston and be around the family and dad. And I think that's what he thought about, after graduation from North Carolina. It's worked out great for him. He's had a good experience. I hope he can finish off the season and play well. But as a dad and as a son, which is way more important than coach and player,
right.
As a dad and son, it's been a cool experience for us.
Chad, you played at North Carolina. You were at North Carolina. You also coached at North Carolina. And it's still kind of mind-boggling to me when I come to Patriots Point. I look to the right next to the Cougar dugout, and I see Roy Williams and his wife just sitting there. The legend Roy Williams at North Carolina. For those who don't know, tell people about that relationship that you and Coach Williams have.
Well, it's more of honestly, it's more of a relationship that he has with the Holbrook family, but mainly my wife, Jen. Jen ran his office for 9 years at North Carolina. When he came back from Kansas, he hired her to run the office. And so we're extended family to him. And he's been with us, and their family, the Williams family's been with us through some very, very difficult times. When they were, Roy was Jen's boss when Reese was diagnosed with cancer. He helped us navigate that with not only our employment, but with the North Carolina Children's Hospitals and fundraisers and all kinds, bringing awareness to pediatric cancer. So he's been very close to us. So it's not I almost don't look at him as the coach of the University of North Carolina. I look at him as a dear friend and someone that supported Jen, Reese, Cooper, myself. Since the day he got back from Kansas, honestly, and so a lot of neat stories there. He's a great human being, and yeah, we treasure that relationship dearly for sure. I mean, and it's a family-wide relationship. It's not just Jen and Coach Williams. It's I can tell you that. I mean, he loves Reese Holbrook as much as he loves some of the players that played for him, and
Right.
and it's genuine.
And that's, you bring up a good point, with Reese and the pediatric cancer and all that he overcame to just be able to play baseball here, at Charleston. And from a mentality standpoint, I'm assuming that's where Reese kind of gets his toughness, because, okay, you have a 0 for 3 day that does not compare to what he probably went through as a kid.
I remind him of that often,
Right.
and he takes failure very, very hard, and it's not and to be a great baseball player, you have to navigate the ups and downs,
Right.
And he's got a little bit of a linebacker in football mentality, and when it doesn't go so well, he wants to rip his helmet off and throw, things that don't go well sometimes from a baseball standpoint. But him playing a lot now, he's learning how to navigate that failure. And Hall of Famers fail 70% of the time in our sport, and some kids struggle handling failure, and my kid's one of them. And and there's a lot of pressure that those kids put on themselves to excel in baseball. And so that's but he is a tough kid. He has been through a lot. He still has moments where I can tell there's a residual effect from the cancer that he had. To this day I can see. Like the chemotherapy, and he couldn't play catch with me when he was growing up because the chemotherapy damaged the nerves in his eyes and he couldn't follow moving objects. I thought he was going to have to play golf, honestly. Wow. So, and the doctor didn't know if the nerve damage would come back when he was 25 or 15. They had no idea. By the grace of God, one day from, trying to play catch with him, the ball hit him in the head, like he couldn't follow it, couldn't catch it, till about, 3 or 4 months later, all of a sudden he started catching the ball. And it was the grace of God. He went from not being able to play baseball to looking at playing golf to having a chance and being a scholarship athlete at the University of North Carolina. So God was good to that kid.
That I would say for sure. So, Coach, when you're not throwing BP or playing catch or hitting fungo, apparently you have a very solid baseball collection of cards, a hobby that you've picked up. Talk a little bit about this baseball card collection of yours.
Well, it's not a it's been a hobby since I was this high. I love the history of the game. What Jackie Robinson went through in the 50s, that stuff, Kurt Flood, all at Lou Brock, all those what they were able to accomplish on a baseball field, and also how they dealt with the civil rights era. All that stuff just resonates with me in regards to the history of baseball and what athletes overcame and accomplished when they had far more pressures on us than we have today. So that was some cool. That's one of the reasons I like old stuff. I don't the new baseball card stuff is I like the old stuff. I like the 50s, the 60s, the Jackies, the Mickey Mantles, the Satchel Pages, all those things. That's why I love cards, and because of the history of the game. It's just I'm not great at it, but I do love baseball cards. But it all comes from 50s and 60s and 70s. Those teams and those players, what they went through, how they played, and he kind of laying the foundation for all of us to enjoy the game today.
Right.
So
yeah, I've not been fortunate enough to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, but it might have been 2 or 3 years ago, family vacation in New York, end up in Brooklyn, just happened to be walking down the street, and it's the Jackie Robinson store. And literally, Coach, about 2 or 3 hours in there, memorabilia and just the cards. And it was really neat and kind of really gave you a different perspective of, what he had to go through. So I can see why it's very
And those things are like, and those cards were made, back in the 50s for the 7 or 8 year old kid, with the stories they wrote on the back of the cards, and it wasn't made for adults to, there's plenty of adults making great livings in the card business today. That's what those cards were made for. Those cards were made for the love of the game, for those kids that were going up watching the game or listening at that time on the radios to games. And that's where it all kind of started for me, like it's a kid's game. Me and you,
Right.
we're up there in age. We want to stay.
Exactly.
Baseball cards help me stay young at the end of the day. And for between baseball cards and music, I'm 55 going on 45. That's those two things help me with that.
Fair enough. And speaking of music, if you know anything about the best party in the Low Country at any point during the year, it's the baseball fundraiser, the Yacht Rock Review that you have over on Isle of Palms. And again, Coach, every time y'all have it, we're out of town with men's basketball, but you have turned me into a Yacht Rock fan, just basically by accident. Talk a little bit about this love you have for Yacht Rock in particular.
Well, it goes back to being a kid. You know, it's what songs were you listening to when you were standing up in the front seat while your mom drove you to school? You know, you didn't have seatbelts back in the day when we were going to school. Yeah, that was that. That was exactly. It, you know, and but you know, it just takes you back to you're 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, and I got to know those guys, and I love all music though. It's not just Yacht Rock. I've developed a friendship with the band, and great people, they're great baseball fans, and they love to help our program up, and they love to help some of the things that I fought for off the field, pediatric cancer stuff, Camp Cole, which is a camp, an incredible camp in the Midlands that we support. That gives disadvantaged youth an opportunity to attend camps and those kinds of things. So they share a lot of the same interests that we share, or that our family shares in regards to raising money for specific causes. And they love our team. They love the Cougs. They love our baseball team. So they want to come to Charleston every year and play the Windjammer for our program. And as long as I'm coach and they want to come, we'll throw a big party.
There you go. And speaking of your program, Coach, you've won national championships there in Columbia. You've been successful really at all stops. What makes Charleston special for you?
Well, Charleston's a great town, and you know, and this year I'm sitting here, and I know it's we've been scuffling a little bit, and this is the first first year that I've felt like I've not been as good a coach as I want to be, and you know, and so it's a challenge each and every day. I got to coach better and to put our kids in better positions. However, we've enjoyed an incredible amount of success here. And it's because of an incredible city, incredible people that lead the university. Our AD is terrific. The president's terrific. Our board of trustees is terrific. It's a great place to call home. It's a great place when you're not on the baseball field. Hey, what can we do today? Well, you can do what you want. Right. You know, you can go to the beach. You can go to an incredible restaurant. You can walk down King Street. You can go in the cistern and sit and read a book. I mean, the things that you can do to bring your life some peace is all afforded to us here in Charleston. It's the best city in the world. I've lived in some great places. I have, you know, my coaching career is Chapel Hill. Everybody says it's a great place to, to live. When I lived in Columbia, Lake Murray was a great place to live. Forest Acres was a great place to live. Nothing compares with living in Charleston, South Carolina. And this city stuck with me for life. And it's a great place. But I can't even imagine, and I tell our recruits this, I can't imagine having an opportunity to not only play baseball here, but go to school here and live in Charleston for the next 4 years. Man, throw me in that briar patch. I'd love to have done that when I was 17 or 18 years old. And it's just a beautiful place, a beautiful school, a beautiful community. I'm awfully lucky. I think I have the best baseball job in America, and I sincerely believe that.
You know, Coach, before I let you get out of here, you know, we're talking about Trailblazers, and you touched on Matt Roberts and the phenomenal job he's done as the AD. And, you know, here at Charleston, we're fortunate enough to, I know Maggie's going to kill me, but we have the youngest Division I softball coach in the country. On your side, Sam Jorman, the first female GM. For a while there, coach, she was coaching first base as well. Talk about that relationship, and really that's just something you don't see in college baseball, is a female having such a prominent role with the program.
Well, Sam is Sam and talked about Maggie doing a great job. And first of all, I got to, you know, I was lucky that Matt asked me to serve on the search committee for our softball coach. Okay. So, and I got to learn and know Maggie, not only her first year coaching here, not as an assistant coach, but I knew her family, knew her dad. She's like me in many ways. That she grew up with her dad was a coach, and all she knew. So I knew, and I watched her work and watched her practice. Like, knew she would do a great job. Knew she would be a great fit here, and she has been and will be for many years. And then, you know, Sam is one of the best baseball minds I've ever been around. And you know, I saw her. I took our team, the College of Charleston, to James Madison, and she was a manager there, and I watched her for 3 games, and she was First of all, she welcomed our team for Thursday practice. Then I watched her set up the field for batting practice Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I watched her clean the field. She wasn't having much help. Those coaches weren't helping her much. Their players weren't. She was doing it all herself. And I said, I'm going to find out about this girl. I want to ask her what her story is. And so after the series was over, I said, hey, what are you doing after you graduate? And she goes, well, I'm going to go to the Cape Cod League and be an assistant GM this summer in the Cape. And I'm like, wow. And I was like, where's your love for baseball come? And then she mentioned to me who her dad was. And I know her dad. Her dad's a Hall of Fame high school baseball coach in Virginia. And I was like, you're Pudge's daughter? It's one of those things. And I was like, okay. So a couple minutes passed and I said, you know what? I don't have a job on my staff available, but I'll between now and when she graduates from James Madison, I'll raise some money for her. I just went up and offered her a job. I said, I don't have a director of baseball operations, but if you want to come be our director of baseball operations next year, I'll have a job for you.
Wow.
And we got on the bus, and we were 15 minutes out of Williamsburg, Virginia, and the phone rings, and it's her, and she goes, I'm in. And,
wow.
And it didn't take long, and she's been great. She's one of the best employees that I've ever been around. I've been around some incredible coaches, some Hall of Fame coaches from – you mentioned Roy, and I didn't work with Roy, but I got to see him work on a daily basis. But Ray Tanner, Mike Fox, Mike Roberts, incredible college baseball coaches, some incredible college baseball assistant coaches as well. And Sam is as good an employee as I've ever been around. She'd be great no matter what. She could be a first female head baseball coach in college at the college. She could be if she wants to, and she's that good. She's that good at everything that she does. And, the College of Charleston's lucky to have her. I'm more lucky to have her because she makes my job so much easier. But she's no doubt great at her job.
Well, there you have it. Chad Holbrook just told us who one of our upcoming guests on the Prowl will be. Guess it'll be Sam Jorman to hear about her story.
You'll enjoy that conversation. Yeah. I equate it to, so Remember the Titans, the movie Remember the Titans, and the little girl
the coach's son,
would sit up there and yell at the players like, right. You didn't beat like you stole something, like that.
That's her. Okay.
Sam.
Yep. That makes sense. If I'm not mistaken, that guy and the character, I think he lives on Sullivan's Island, if I'm not mistaken. I heard that he lives over there. So,
how about that?
But yeah, that makes sense. So, Coach, man, we are so lucky and proud to have you here again. I know maybe not the best time right now, but if anybody can turn it around, I know it's you. You guys will get after it, you and your staff. So, again, thank you for taking some time off of the diamond to come here and talk a little Cougar baseball about you.
Thanks for having me, and you Cougar fans, hang in there with us. We've hit a couple speed bumps, but I'll do better, and we'll keep putting them in right positions. We'll keep treating these kids the right way, and having fun in the game, and hopefully the ball start bouncing their way, and we'll start playing a little bit better. But it's a joy to be here, and always to talk to you, and hopefully we have a great second half of the season.
Sounds good. That's Chad Holbrook, the head baseball coach of the College of Charleston, joining us here on the Prowl, giving us a little insight into the Diamond Cougs, as I like to call them, as they aim to win a CAA championships. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.